unusual video that NDTV has accessed that should be worrying to everyone that watches it. An unusually large crowd gathered on an airstrip in Odisha Sambalpur district. This wasn't because there was some kind of calamity because of which they've all pushed onto this airstrip, viewers. It's because of a recruitment examination for the post of home guards that these students are seen sitting there. We're talking about 8,000 students for about 187 seats for that exam. Rows and rows of them on that airstrip there on your screens. And this image, this video has flooded social media. As you can see, there are no desks. There are no mats provided for these candidates. They had to use the airstrip surface to write the test. Drone footage captured the arrangement. And why were the drones there? They were there to they were deployed to oversee the venue and maintain discipline during the process, is what we are being told. This is in the Sambalpur district. The sight of candidates sitting on an airstrip to write an exam has, of course, drawn criticism and debate. And we're going to talk about that for the next couple of hours. Shiv Arur joining me live from the newsroom. Shiv, when an examination hall looks like a crowd control exercise, it exposes two crises, Shiv, at once: the administrative apathy and the crushing unemployment.
It is truly appalling. It's unspeakable, Vedika, and I share your sentiments as we watch these pictures. I was in a bit of disbelief for a moment when I saw these pictures, because remember, when this footage was released by the state authorities, it was almost like a boast. Look how we're using drones to monitor these, people who've taken this home guard examination, and this drone footage literally goes on and on and on. It's seemingly endless. Virtually the entire length of that runway is occupied by people taking a home guard examination. Like you said, 8,000 applicants for 187 vacancies. A total lack of any infrastructure, any kind of security, any kind of amenities, even basic amenities that one would expect from an examination of any kind, but especially for something as important as the home guard. It is appalling that not only have these people not been given the basic facilities to hold the exam, but even a cursory look at this footage shows that there is no way drones and other measures on the ground are going to be able to, maintain the integrity and safety of an examination of this kind. And that is appalling, because remember, these are people applying for jobs to the home guard. And I was reading an NDTV web report that said many of these people are highly qualified and taking this exam far more qualified than the class 5 pass, which is the minimum requirement for this particular requirement. But I think the point you make about unemployment is an even bigger one. It's glaring. It's a shocking sort of signal and commentary on not only how few jobs there are in certain parts of the country, but also how unprepared the state administrations are to actually fill these gaps and fill these vacancies. How can anyone be put out like this, winter months, in pollution? This is in Sambalpur in Odisha, and subjected to this kind of thing. It shows a lackadaisical, absence of preparation, a complete lack of heart, I would say, from the state authorities to be able to subject people to something like this, almost being predatory on the desperation for these jobs, because they know that it's a demand issue. These are people who are desperate for jobs. Yes. They will travel hundreds of kilometers. They will go through humiliating hardships like sitting in the open, like refugees on an airstrip endlessly, and not complain, because that's how desperate they are for these jobs, Vedika. But this is truly, truly appalling. And I think nobody should be surprised that this has become such a viral image of the day.
All right, Shiv, thanks for joining me live there. And I'm going to put some of those questions also to Dr. Nisha Nujumuddin, public policy expert and educationist, who joins me live at this point. Thank you for speaking with us here, Dr. Nisha, at Breaking Ground. Have you ever seen a video like this? Have you ever seen 8,000 students on an airstrip, ma'am? This is disrespect. It talks of the desperation of these students and the apathy all at the same time.
It is very disturbing for the fact that, our country so many people who are unemployed. And this is not just a question of employment crisis, rather it's a question of preference of stability, I would say. Now, 8,500 aspirants, when they're applying for a job where there are only 187 vacancies, that itself shows that they're very desperate enough, to get into that particular so for the fact they have some stability. Now, this is a disturbing employment signal that we are seeing particular video where people are sitting in the examination where we can see desperations over there, and now this indicates a kind of structural unemployment, I would say, and also the limited private sector option. See, when thousands of people are chasing for hundreds of jobs, that is when thousands chase for hundreds, actually the economy is whispering a warning. And in spite of having a low pay, also people are ready to go for the job and they're not even worried about the high risk that they have. Because see, such kind of home guard jobs, it involves a great amount of risk. It involves long hours and limited benefits. In spite of that, for them, stability matters a lot. So what I would say that, see, security should never come with economic insecurity. That is what we're seeing here, right? And when you talk about the unemployment of talent, I would say that the educated youth who are lining up for such low paid jobs shows the wasted human capital of India. And now this is because many times the opportunities and skills are not being able to be matched properly. And when you talk about the unemployment rate for our country, India, the recent data, so surprisingly, it shows that from 5.2% it has come down to 4.7% as per November 2025 data. It's indeed, the lowest since 2018. Having said that, they even claim that there is a stability in the urban rates, there is an increase in the labor force participation rates by more than 55%.
Yes, I have another question for you. While you do share that data, and I'm glad you have, it's also about the desperation, the disrespect, but it also talks to the fact that we have educated youth in our country, because the cutoff, like Shiv had pointed out, is a grade 5 cutoff for this exam. You have engineers, you have MBA students taking this exam, ma'am.
Which is because, see, they as a last resort. Over-reliance on government jobs. Right. And now, sustainable growth, it requires MSMEs, local industry. So then the state can't be the employer of last hope forever. That is what we're seeing here. See, and now because of the issue of unemployment facing here, it shows even the educated people. I mean, it's a kind of structural as well as educated unemployment that we're seeing here. We need to understand one thing. See, if I am to talk from a human angle, three things I'll say. Okay, from a human angle, if I am to tell, I would say that families always prioritize certainty over theoretical, higher pay. They say that, chalo, theek hai, there is no issue. You pay me 10,000 where I'm supposed to pay 15,000 also, it's okay. At least I'm getting 10,000. This is the kind of attitude families have. Point number two, from an economic angle, as an economist, I would say such kind of cues that you see for the jobs that talks about the job quality gaps, which is very important. This also shows development and the skills of our country also. Where are we heading to? And point number three, from a policy angle, say that there is huge need for local job creation and not just recruitment drives. What are we seeing here? It is just a recruitment drive. And where there is only 187 vacancy, people, 8,000 people are coming. So what are the things? We need more things to come in. What I would personally say that, see, from a call, what are we next? What is the solution to this? That is what we should discuss.
Thank you for joining me there. I think this is compelling video that we have on our screens, viewers, that talks to the desperation of these students, talks to the lack of jobs. You have 8,000 of these students. The minimum requirement to sit for this exam is grade 5 qualification, and you have engineers and MBAs sitting for this. This is out in the winters on an airstrip. You have that drone footage that you have on your screens that indicates that this is footage coming in from the government, from the authorities, but they were rather boastful about it, showing the number of students who had sat for this exam instead of giving them basic requirements of a desk, a mat, and a roof. Thank you so much, Dr. Nisha, for joining me on that story here.